are green and racing to the bottom of turn number 1.
A great beginning for podium Paul French. He gets in the lead. Look at Jake Goff. He comes from the shadows to take third place.
Meanwhile, while that's been happening, look at David Arute creating some magic on the inside lane. David Arute works his presence on the bottom, follows Joey Farino to the front of the class. Meanwhile, Todd Doulard is there. Here's Membrino in the outside groove. Back off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Here comes David Arute to the inside. Puts the hammer down. David Arute up to the 4th spot. Farino up into position 3. Goff is in the 2nd now. They come off the turn almost 3 wide. Meanwhile, further back in the competition, the number 92 of Daniel Wesson creating some magic. Brent the Jet Gagne gets sideways. He gathers it back. Fastest car on the racetrack, David Arute, 20.449. Last circuit by. Off the turn, rumbling to the line. It's Paul French. Look at Jay Goff, the crafty veteran. Neon green and black, second leader of the event. 3 laps into the record books. Goff is the brand new leader. French drops back to second. Here comes Joey Farino, the breast cancer awareness car. Color pink is racy to the inside. And who's the tail that wags the dog there? It is David Arute with the Big Hoss Racing Machine. On the inside, David Arute tries to contend for the 3rd spot to the outside. It's still French, the early leader. Here comes David Arute. He's got a car glued to the bottom as now Arute moves on to the podium. Trouble now. Caution is out in the field. Caution is out on the bottom of turns 1 and 2. And it's the 66 machine of Sean Mandel. Here they come again. Much nicer on the restart here. And it appears that Goff is back in command. And look at David Arute quickly up to take the lead. And look at Membrino. And then while that's happening, Matt, here comes Joey Farino.
A twitch by Membrino.
Ooh, a little bit of stutter step there. And it almost was a costly one for David Arute.
Well, you got to give Membrino credit for keeping control of the car,
Backed
because
out
it
of it
looked
just
like he
in
was
time.
going to have a panic attack in that 44 machine.
Goff is still the leader. Goff goes high, wide, and not so handsome, and gives Joey Farino, Mr. Inside, the opportunity to take a peek at it. Here comes David Arute. Goff is now the fastest car on the racetrack, 20.063. David Arute has been working hard on the setup to make magic with that race car. He's a rookie in this division, and he's looking very racy in the Big Hoss race car, setting in that 3rd spot. Membrino starting to gain a little bit of more momentum now, Matt.
And it's a pretty big battle between Joe Graff and Todd Doulard a little deeper in the field. And Joey Graff, it is hard to believe that this is only his 3rd race. And we have a nail-biter for second as David Arute shuffles to the outside to try to evict the mare from 2nd place.
Remember, Joey Farino masters the inside, but whenever he seems to want to, he can pull that car up a lane and use it to maintain and hold his position. And he's doing exactly that as we speak. But while all of that is happening, Daniel Wesson just clicked off the quickest lap of the race, 19.856. Wesson is coming with the number 92 machine.
Just ask Paul French, because swooshing right around him was Daniel Wesson, and now he's going after the 2-time winner Membrino, and Arute mixing it up with Farino.
David Arute goes to the outside of Farino, off the turn. Trouble now, Membrino swings across the racetrack. Doulard is involved, and it didn't look like they touched, Matt, but it was closer than most people park, as the old saying goes.
It looked like they were on a collision course, and all that Doulard did was get the 44 dirty. I don't think he made substantial contact.
We're looking for the ride of victory off turn number 4, and guess what?
Goss is off the pace.
And the green flag comes out. Will it stay out, or will it be haunted by the yellow chaser. And it looks like, believe it or no,
trouble on the backstretch as
Yep.
two cars come together.
what a
Gagne rubbing elbows as it is a mess right underneath the light beer sign.
And the Todd Clark machine was one of the cars involved in that mix-up as well. And the other car involved, we believe, was the number 66 machine of Sean Mandel. Here they come. Green flag is out, and it is a side-by-side race into turn number 2. And here comes David Arute and Daniel Wesson. Wesson goes to the outside of Farino. Arute gives a smooch to the back bumper of Joey Farino. And Daniel Wesson is wheel to wheel in a battle for second.
But the driver who has the most voltage at this stage, Daniel Wesson, trying to make a very
Three
difficult
wide.
pass. Arute is there, also entering the fracas. And it is still Goff holding everybody off.
They come off the turn. It's Goff, still the leader of the pack. Farino by inches noses out Daniel Wesson to try to take back the second spot. Here comes David Arute. They bing, they bang. Oh, Arute gets bounced around, crosses over. As we've got 3 cars involved.
Vinny Anglais is one of them, along with Podium Paul French.
And David Arute, as that car just literally snapped around, and what it did, tried to save it and correct it, but unfortunately he was right in the line of the rest of the field that followed. Here they come to the line. It is dead even as they cross the stripe, and all of a sudden Joey Farino seems to have a little more speed coming off that turn, Matt.
Can he clear the 07? It looks like he is on the verge of doing that, and Joey Farino has done it. Now Goff is being attacked by Daniel Wesson. So as they whirly bird their way off the corner, Farino has the lead with 6 laps to go.
There's no question about it. It is Dan Wesson up on the wheel and on the outside. Car number 92 steps on the gas. Meanwhile, here comes the 44. Will it be too late or will it be perfect timing? Joey Graff down underneath Jay Goff. Goff taps to the bumper of Wesson off the turn. Here comes Graff to the bottom.
They're all attacking Joey Farino. Now slingshotting his way into second is Wesson. Graff has room on the inside, but he wasn't quick enough to exploit it.
He wasn't. That gives Goff the advantage to move back into the 3rd spot. Here comes Daniel Wesson on the back bumper of Joey Farino. Wesson with a completely different line, trying to get as much speed and enough momentum out of the race car as he possibly can.
And the Goffster trying to wind up on the podium, hanging 3rd. But he knows a very hungry Joey Graff is behind him in car number 2 as they trample their way out the corner. A little wiggle, shake and bake time from Farino, but he keeps it under control.
Farino just guards that inside lane. Here comes Goff. He gets a wheel down underneath. Wesson steps on the gas. He kicks up a little dirt down the back straightaway. It costs Wesson a little bit of ground. He takes it in deep. Ladies and gentlemen, off turn number 4. Popsicle sticks are up, 2 laps to go. It's not over with yet. Farino still the band leader, but for how long? The noise is sounding loud behind him.
As Farino hugging the inside groove, here comes Goff. Goff is trying to yank second away from Wesson, and he is on the way of doing that. So Jay Goff has come back.
Oh!
There's trouble for Graff. Graff loses it and winds up near the railing.
A tough break for Graff. He tried to correct the automobile and snap back around on him. The green is out. Membrino by inches. Wesson on the outside, off the turn. Power is going to be determining who gets down to turn 3 first.
2 drivers welded together. Look at Farino on the inside. And he is able to lightning bolt his way to a slender lead over Wesson. 1 to go. They almost come together, and Farino is able to hang on.
They cling, they clang, they come off the second turn. Wesson is on the high side. Farino is down low, down the back straightaway. 2 turns left. Here comes Goff. Wesson is on the outside lane. Joey Farino is down low, off the turn. They come to the stripe, 3 wide. They come down, and Joey Farino unofficially by inches in a 3 wide. We'd have to almost call it a photo finish, but it wasn't. After reviewing the tapes and the information in one of the closest finishes in the history of the Stafford Motor Speedway, All eyes are on the scoreboard, and Daniel Wesson will be the individual that takes the victory.
Okay, let's give it up for Daniel Wesson. What a run in the number 92. That was one of the best races I've ever seen, man. You came on strong there at the end. You got it done. Congratulations.
Thank you. I just want to thank all my sponsors, Smith's Auto Bodies, Sarek, Hems Welding, Trackside Motors, Dunleavy Truck Trailers, Waddell, Monaco Ford especially, TA Chassis, Patriot Coating, Sullivan Landscaping, everybody.
Daniel, first of all, man, you got to feel pretty good about getting that win, and you fought for it. That got to make it even better.
Yeah, that first restart, we got a little crossed up, and I hit the wall, but we got it back together. Luckily, the yellow came out, and we got back to second. Then on that green-white checkered, I was on the outside. That was great. I was coming on him, and then the wall started coming, so I had to lift, and then it was a battle for the finish.
There he is, folks. Daniel Wesson, number 92, puts it in victory lane in the SK Light main event. And we're going to go talk to our second and third place finishers with Darren Ayotte.
Yeah, thanks, John. Joey Farino and Jay Goff just having some conversation about the race right now. We'll bring in Joey Farino, who finishes in second. All right, Joey, the other side of the story here. What happened on the final lap there? Battling side by side with Daniel Wesson, and then even Jay Goff comes in at the end.
I mean, I was having a great time running with Goff. I mean, I've ran with him for years, and it's always clean. Car was fast tonight, just didn't have enough money to put tires under it, so I mean, it was definitely all over the place. You know, that last restart, I had him coming towards the line. He got into my right rear a little bit, aimed me towards the wall, slowed me down into one, and I was just, you know, driving it for everything we had. I drove it into turn 3 on the last lap. The car didn't stick. Someone gave me a shot in the back. Both cars slid up. You know, me and him were going to the wall. He came down on me, and I mean, just racing. We touched. Car got a little bit out of shape again, and he beat me on the outside to the line. I mean, it's racing. It's all part of the deal. Just got to thank everybody that got me to this point. I mean, the car's been dancing all over the podium this year. Just hasn't gotten it done yet. You know, I got to thank Paul French. Without him, you know, everything in the car. Dean, Debbie, Frank, Cafazzo, everyone that helps out. Gino, RH2 Radios. Kurt D'Addario's Auto Service, Dave Stevens Ductwork, Mike from M&S Products, just everybody that's helped me out. You know, Donnie at Rad Auto Machine, Jeff Pearl for the awesome restarts. I mean, nothing beats this car on a restart after he touched my transmission. Just a great group of people coming together to make a good thing happen.
Well, still a solid run for Joey Farino. The good runs are coming for him. Second place in what was arguably the closest finish in Stafford Speedway history. We're going to bring in the last driver on our podium. That's Jay Goff, who finished in third. He's just speaking with his grandson here, a newest grandson. Joey Farino going to talk to him as well. Jay, take me through your last lap. You see the 92 and the 87 going at it. You come up out of turn number 4 on the inside. Do you think you had him?
Well, I really did. I thought we were a little bit quicker than them, certainly getting in, and kind of playing that third and fourth turn move. I knew that Joey was going to probably bring him a little high. I said, I'll dive underneath and see what happens, and it was so close at the line, I really didn't know who won.
But all in all, though, this is the kind of runs that this 07 car needs. You're up there in the podium, battling for the win. What's that like for you?
It's awesome. We had such a terrible year last year. We fought bad conditions with the car. We got in a couple of bad wrecks. My grandson wants the mic. Matt Butler said I was kind of washed up. I kind of got to show him that I was really back on my game. And this really proves that we got a good piece for the rest of the year.
Well, you proved it to Morgan. You also proved it to us. Jay Goff, third place here in a very, very tight SK Light feature. Caution filled, but a great finish at the end.